After almost 2 years, Hazbin Hotel Season 2 is finally here. I reviewed Season 1 a few months ago, and although my review was mostly negative, I didn't think it was complete garbage. I had my problems with it, but I still wanted to give the show a second chance. My biggest problems were a bad protagonist and the betrayal of the premise. Did Season 2 fix either of these problems?
Yeah, no. No.
And we will get to that, but not in this video. Just like the Season 1 review, first I will discuss what I liked, because despite being flawed, this season did have a few elements I enjoyed. Then, in other videos, I will let myself go and explain why this season isn't good, in my opinion. I'll start by saying that although this season, just like the previous one, has its problems, I had fun watching it. When I finished it, I didn't feel like I had wasted hours of my life, and that's already something very positive for me. As always, the show's voice acting is top-notch. Everyone did a phenomenal job, both in the English and Italian dub. I want to highlight the dubbing in particular because Christian Borle's performance as Vox completely captured me, and thanks to him, Vox is my favorite part of the show. Every time he was on screen, he had my complete attention. The song Once We Get Up There is my favorite of the season. It rocks both in English and Italian.
Sarà bandita la pietà in nome del trio. Questa torre può sfondare nella casa di Dio.
Quella Charlie ci guiderà.
Ogni angioletto la pagherà.
In paradiso, regnando al posto di Dio. Basta con l'inferno squalido, voglio il celestiale scintillio. Da supremi altri divinità è un attimo se
Usi la tua fama a volontà.
Abolisci santi e castità.
We'll rule the sky from up on high.
What's up? And I
Get up there.
And put some recent Disney villain songs to shame. My major issue with Hazbin Hotel songs is the lyrics, which, let's be honest, often suck. But I have to give credit where it's due. This time, the lyrics were better. This doesn't mean that I found all the songs to be good, but I'll discuss this later. Nifty is still adorable, and her song has been stuck in my head for weeks. I really like Love in a Bottle and Losing Streak, and just like Loser Baby, I prefer them in Italian. Neri Marcore has a voice that perfectly fits Husk, and Riccardo Suarez has the voice of an angel.
Voglio il meglio, fammelo on the rocks. Cicci nel solo suono giusto. Tutta la notte scommetterò. Se non si rischia poi non c'è gusto.
E spazio non c'è per le mie angosce e preoccupazioni. Se bevi con me sappi che l'alcol qui scorre a fiumi.
Dai via il tuo asso per una bocca che sa di scotch e cenere. E tu vai Olin, poi bevi gin e forse, chi lo sa, la fortuna girerà. No.
I also really enjoyed the small talk Husk and Angel have after Losing Streak. Angel says, "I've accepted redemption's not really for people like me." And right after that, he tells Husk he'll see him at the hotel regardless. This implies Angel doesn't consider himself worthy of redemption, but still wants to try. And he said it to make himself come down to Husk's current emotional level, to better engage with him and lift him up, mirroring what we've seen in Season 1 with Loser Baby, except the roles are now reversed. I found this character interaction to be very sweet, and it's definitely my favorite moment of this season. And by the way, Angel looks great in that dress. Speaking of the animation, while it isn't groundbreaking, there are some moments, mostly when Vox is on screen, where it's very fluid, and it's a joy to witness. Hazbin Hotel is classified as a comedy, and despite that, I didn't laugh once in Season 1. Although there is one joke that I will criticize later, I think Season 2 slightly improved in this department. Quick things like this or this made me smile, and to my complete surprise, there are 2 instances in which I laughed. This happened during my second rewatch of the season in Italian. There is a scene in which Katie Killjoy calls the hotel Shitbin Hotel, and when I rewatched the scene in Italian, I expected them to just translate the joke, but instead they made her say Catsbin Hotel. and I admit that caught me off guard. Is it a childish joke? Yes, but I admit it made me laugh. Then, when Vox is stirring up the sinners in episode 5, you can hear one of them in the crowd saying this. This is a reference to an Italian movie called Il Marchese del Grillo, where a character says the exact same thing.
Mi dispiace, ma io so io, e voi non siete un cazzo.
I didn't expect the show to reference it, so I laughed in disbelief. The Italian dub for Vox also added this nice element. When Vox talks here, he says mi consenta, which is a reference to an expression often used by the Italian politician Berlusconi. Now, I will not sit down and explain to you who he was, because that is not a rabbit hole I want to explore. If you want to, go read the Wikipedia page. Let's just say that it's very fitting that someone like Vox chose to reference him. So well done, Hazbin Hotel. Although in this case the merit belongs to the Italian translators. Charlie will have a whole section dedicated to her in the next videos. However, I do have one positive thing to say about her. At the end of episode 3, she and Angel argue, and after Charlie apologizes, Angel says this.
You know, sorry starts to lose meaning after a while, Charlie.
They don't make amends by the end of the episode, and I expected them to reconcile by the end of the season. Except that doesn't happen. Not only does Angel not forgive Charlie, but he refuses to return to the hotel after learning he had been unwillingly used as a spy by Vox. This show loves to leave almost all plot points open for the next season, which is something that I personally dislike, but in this case I think they made the right choice. Angel went through something very traumatic in this season, so I think it makes sense that he's not ready to return to the hotel. And most importantly, I'm glad someone finally called Charlie out. We will have to see how season 3 handles their reconciliation, but at least for now, this is a choice I appreciated. And those were all the positive things I have to say for season 2. I know this video was quite short, but unfortunately I have many more critiques than praises this time. Let me know in the comments what you liked from season 2, so that we can share some positivity before ripping this season to shreds. As always, thanks for watching and have a great day.